Really feel good about the night. Actually, we really feel good about the last 48 hours, to tell you the truth. Look, one of the things you want to do is, when you're building out a team, is whenever you have these tentpole moments, draft, free agency, trade deadline, it's an opportunity for you to make a statement about who you are as a team, what you're going to be, really to define yourself. And so with the last 48 hours, we're really just trying to define who we are and the type of players we want to bring in. These two young guys tonight, it's crazy because we felt like we were going to have to choose between these two guys the entire night. And so to end up getting both of them was just really exciting for us. We thought there was a chance that we could end up getting both of them, but you never can tell with so many teams moving around. So very happy tonight, very happy to have these two young men, and we think that they're going to be great additions to the Pelicans. So I'll open it up.
Joe, can you talk specifically about what you liked about these two guys?
Yeah, so both of these guys, as freshmen, impacted winning for their teams. A few years as second youngest player in the draft, should have been in high school this past year and led Oklahoma into the NCAA. I think when people saw Queen as a freshman as well, led Maryland, game winner against Colorado State. The fact that these two young guys, they didn't just get to the college level, put up decent numbers, and now they're in the draft. They impacted winning, and so that appeals to us, and that goes right to what we've been saying just about the profile of the type of guys that we want to bring here.
And whether it's the moves you made today or the moves you made yesterday, the direction is obviously being aggressive and your desire to kind of reshape this roster. How much of that your mindset coming in and wanting to be that aggressive to move these type of moves?
Yeah, it's the only way I've ever had success in this league. I've been around aggressive teams my entire life in this league, in this business, as a professional. That has always served well. I thought the two teams in the finals exemplified that this year. They were aggressive on both ends of the court. They defended like heck. They pushed the ball. Those are the elements that win. And so, yeah, we want to be aggressive at all times.
So when you made that deal with Indiana a week ago, did you have this scenario in mind where you had these two guys that you wanted and you thought that gave you the best chance to get both?
Not necessarily like that, but what I did think was that if we're going to have a chance to make a move up, we need another asset. And so let's go ahead and get this asset now. Now look, when you do that, here's what you have to know. If you get stuck at 23, you better have a handful of guys you like there. And we did. And we were just watching the board and watching who was going off, and we were like, yeah, we would have got one of those guys. So we liked the guys at 23, but yeah, you know, sometimes when I got here, we had just the 7th pick, right? And so I'm like, we don't have enough assets to move around during the draft. So yeah, we had to get that asset, put it into this draft, and hope that we had a chance to do what we did tonight.
And could you describe the risk-reward calculation that went into what you gave up next year for Derik?
Yeah. So when you have a chance to get 2 lottery picks in one draft, you're accounting for the following year, really, when you get 2 in one draft. And so that's the first thing you calculate. And then secondly, look, these deals, after we drafted 7, we started from 9 and went all the way until we got a deal. And you don't pull the trigger on the asset next year until you get that deal. Otherwise, you keep it. But here's what I've said to the staff. When you identify a player that you think this can be one of the foundations here, you go and get them. And that's what we did. I mean, like we targeted Queen. We thought he could be a heck of an addition here. And we were really aggressive about going and getting him in this draft.
What else was it about his game that made you really, confident that he fit in with what y'all do in the system and whatnot?
So I've said, obviously I like tough guys. I like that aggressive tough guy. But you got to have an IQ. You can't just be tough and nothing else. And I put his IQ in the game up against anybody in this draft. Like, this is a super, super high IQ guy, finds people, has the mentality of a guard, will push it up. He's just got unique skills for a 6'10" kid. And that really appealed to me, to have someone on the court like that. Look, you call those guys connectors. They can connect everybody on the court with the way they play. Super unselfish. You win with guys like that.
What's the biggest thing that stands out about Jeremiah Fears, about his game? Or his personality?
Just, first of all, I love the confidence that he has. I spent time with him in Chicago at the pre-draft camp. I spent time with him here a week or so ago when he came in town. Super confident, but not arrogant, not cocky. Like, and look, you need some of that to be good in this league. Like, you got to think, yeah, I'm him. You know what I mean? And so he does. And I like that about him, but I like his skill set. Just the ability to get anywhere on the court like that is a unique ability. And one of the things I say to the staff all the time is, like, guys, if you're going to be a really, really good team, you have to have guys who can compromise the other team's defense. You have to have guys who can compromise. If you look at any of the good teams, Shea, Halliburton, all these guys, and they have multiple guys that can compromise your defense. And so that's what Jordan Poole can do. That's what Zion can do. Now that's what Fears can do. That's what Queen can do. These guys can compromise the defense, and when you do that, you got a chance. You got a real chance.
And with Jeremiah and the trade yesterday, obviously you're addressing the point guard position. How important was that for you, and what do you want to kind of see from that position going forward?
You know what? For me, it's people who can attack. So, as you know, if you're playing against Denver, it's Jokic that's attacking you and compromising your defense. If you play against Luka, whoever, right? So I just wanted guys who can attack the other team. You can't have – it's hard to win when you just got one guy that can compromise the other team's defense. You have to have if you look around the league now, you better have multiple guys that can attack, and you're not looking for one guy to do that night after night after night. You don't want to do that. You don't. That's a hard way to live. And so, for me, it wasn't necessarily the point guards. It just happened to be those positions. It could have been the small forwards, and if they are the type that can attack, you would have seen two of them coming here now.
You talk about winning in this league being more than just talent alone, but
Yep.
having guys who have intangibles,
Yep.
people who are culture builders. Just
Yep.
the acquisition of the last 48 hours, how does that speak to that vision of yours?
So I can tell you this. So we make the deal. When did we make the trade? Yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. So I'm on the phone with Jordan Poole first. I'm on the phone with Sadiq first, and with Poole second. And as I'm talking to him, they were like, "Man, Jody, thank you, man, for bringing me to New Orleans, man. I appreciate it. I won't let you down. I won't let you down." Here's the thing. Those are the best trade calls you can get. The worst thing you can do is trade for somebody and then have to try to convince them that they want to be here. Before I could even say it, those guys, both of them, I'm telling you, man, both of them were like, "Man, I so appreciate you bringing me, man. You won't regret it." And Poole said on the phone, as I was talking to him, he said, "Listen, whatever you guys ask me to do, I'm going to do. Like, I'm not coming there, whatever it takes to win, I'm going to do." So those are the best calls you can get. So when you talk about culture building, those are the type of guys you want in your building that's coming in and saying, "Whatever you need me to do, man, I'm there." And so it was a great call from two guys who've played in this league already. And then the young guys, they were both just super excited tonight. Two young kids, on the phone. I FaceTimed with both of them. They were super excited, man. Just super happy to come. Look, last week when Fears was here, and Queen was here a few days before, I was out to dinner with Queen the first time and Fears the second time, and both of them were like, "Man, please bring me here. Please draft me, man." Like, both of them were like, draft. And so that's what I'm saying. I'm going to the draft tonight. I'm like, man, which one of these guys, what am I going to do? And so, and so, you start talking about culture and environment, the first thing is you got to have guys who want to be in the building. And so that's what we have now with these four guys.
John, you said that he and Troy are pretty close.
Mhm.
What did Troy tell you about him?
Yeah, I mean, for the last 2 months that we've been here, he just told me about really the character of the kid. Like, super unselfish, not a stat guy, not worried about stats. He judges everything by winning, and that's it. And so the time I spent with him in Chicago and the time I spent with him here in New Orleans, that's all he talked about. Like, he's not worried about how many points I got. Like, he's the guy that's got 6 points and a win, and you guys know what I'm saying. He's super happy in the locker room, and 20 points and he lost, and he's down for real. So, you know how that can go, with guys. And so he's the opposite of the bad end of that. Like, when we win and he has 6 points or 4 points, he'll be the happiest guy in the locker room.
And Joe, how integral has Troy Weaver been? Because on his face, we can see he
Yeah.
was in Washington, so he knows the Bull Bay.
Yeah.
And he was around Derik Queen. So how integral has he been and helpful in making these decisions?
Listen, I think that, and I've said this to Ms. Benson, that every element of your organization is a team. And so your front office is a team, the coaching staff is a team, the players is a team. I always want to get the best people. Troy is the best. He's simply the best at this. He knows this. We spend countless hours together here these last 2 months here in New Orleans. It's been a journey these last 2 months with him, but he's simply the best at this. And so he was the first call I made when we got this done with myself and Mrs. Benson. He was literally the first call I made, and he said, "When are we going?" And I was like, "As soon as possible." And so, yeah, I mean, super happy to have Troy with me.
And Joe, what is this night like for you? I mean, 40 years ago, you had this phone call. What's it like when you get a chance to see these kids?
Yeah, it's great. You know what's tough for me is, like, right before I came over here, I was looking at some of the kids, and they're struggling, sitting there waiting on their names to get called, and I get called. And I'm like, man, I remember that night. I went 18 in the draft, and so yeah, it's a tough night for kids, but man, at the end of the night, when those kids get their names called, it's the best night of their lives so far. It is the best night of their lives. Actually, when I called Queen on FaceTime, the first thing he said was, "What took you so long?" So I just wanted to make you wait a little while, so
You
good
talked
kid.
about wanting to bring in high character guys and,
Sure.
and guys that'll help win a championship and all that. How much was a fit next to Zion Williamson? How much was that really held in consideration while making these picks and really exploring the draft?
You get guys who want to win. You get high IQ guys. You get guys with, like, what I call real basketball character. Those guys fit in with anybody. Like, when you get that, you don't have to worry about who they're going to fit with. The profile is what makes them fit with everybody. So you don't have to go like, oh, okay, who can fit with that? No, get high character, smart, tough guys who just want to win in a big way. That's how you end up winning rings and being in the finals. I'm telling you, you have to have those type of guys. And so that's what I'm focused on more than do they fit with this guy or that guy. That's a little short-sighted for me, from my vantage point anyway.
When you talk about today's NBA, the importance of having multiple ball handlers,
Mhm.
something else we're seeing today a lot is teams going double bigs.
Yep.
How much do you kind of see Derik fitting into that?
Oh, absolutely. We talked about that a lot, man, about him and Missi and Karlo, and it's imperative now that you have to have bigs. And I'm not even sure we're done adding bigs because you need big bodies now. You look at any of these teams right now; they're running two bigs out there, and if you can't match up, you're in trouble. And so, we want to make sure that that's a strong suit for us as well.
Joe, when you look at this roster, the oldest player, I think, is Dejounte at age 29. Do you feel like this roster needs a veteran or two?
We just need to keep adding high character guys. Some bad veterans too now. So you know what I mean. So, and some great young guys. And so for me, that character is going to supersede everything else. And look, people misconstrue what character is. Character to me is the unselfish guy who's great teammates. I played with some characters, man. But they were great teammates, and they was all about winning. And people look at, the wild stuff and go, what kind of guy? No, they're incredible teammates, super dedicated to winning. That's what I'm looking for more than if he's an older guy, younger guy. You can bring the wrong guy in your locker room who's 30 plus, you got a problem.
Joe, what's the rehab process on Dejounte?
Yeah, so every Monday I'm meeting with the medical staff, updating on all of these guys, Herb, Trey, Dejounte, And so just on top of it, like the rehab. Matter of fact, Dejounte just called me maybe 30, 40 minutes ago. Hey, Jody, can I get Fears and Queen's phone number, man? So this is a guy that's all in. And, you know, every time I talk to Dejounte, he's like, Joe, I'm 6 days a week. And he is, because we have one of our people out with him in Vegas where he is in the summer. And we've sent somebody out there to be with him and his rehab team to make sure that we're on top of it.
Will his recovery timeline in any way influence what you would expect early on from Jeremiah?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Will Dejounte's recovery timeline influence potentially Jeremiah's exposure to playing time early in the season or not?
Not really. You know, if Dejounte was healthy, you know, we still would have gone into this the same way. It's just about adding the pieces that you think can impact the game. But look, you know, we're going to have some really good players around Jeremiah, so he's not going to have to go out there and like carry this unbearable load on his shoulders. You know, when he gets on the court, you know, he's going to be surrounded by guys who've played in this league and know how to play, man.
I guess what I was saying is if Dejounte is not ready to go when the season starts,
Yeah.
you envision Jeremiah starting?
I won't get into if he's starting or not. I mean, training camp, summer league, you know, I don't know yet about that. But, you know, we love the talent. We love his, you know, we love his makeup of who he is, and we'll put him out there. And look, one thing that I never do with my coaches or anyone else is put limitations on, well, we have to take it. Like, look, let's find out where he is. You know, and if he's ready to go, let's go with him. If not, you know, we have enough depth that we don't have to expose him to that early on.
And how did you feel? We kind of saw Dejounte's recent comments about his experience last year with the team.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff going on behind
Yeah,
the scenes.
he and I had a really good conversation. We talked the next morning about that, and I talked to him about it and tell me what's happening. And we had a good long talk about it. Okay. Won't be a problem this year coming up, Dejounte. We had a really good conversation about it. And, you know, sometimes when stuff like this happens, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to get better as an organization. And I call the medical staff in, say, let's talk about Dejounte's interview. And what part of this can we get better at? You know, so when stuff like that happens, I've been in the league long enough to know, like, you don't bury your head. You tack it head on. Like, okay, hey, Dejounte, talk to me. What's happening? Medical staff, talk to me. What's going on? Why is he saying this? What's, you know what I mean? You just deal with it head on. Like, you don't duck it. You don't run from it.
You said this draft was, you know, in these tentpole moments about making a statement about who you are. Who do you think the Pelicans are, or who do you want them to be? What do you think that statement you made today was?
Same thing, aggressive team. We're going to be aggressive in this front office. We're going to be aggressive. We want our players to be aggressive. We want our approach to be aggressive. We want to show up. Like, we're going to show up for the run. And so, you know, we have 82 runs, and so we're going to show up for the run. And so we don't have to be loud. We don't have to bang our chest or anything like that, but, you know, we intend to be there. Thank you, guys. I appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you.
Yeah, fellas, thank you.